morning, guys. Okay, so I thought I might do a little video today on how I go about picking my orders, so the orders that come in and how I go about getting them ready to post. I've actually had quite a lot of messages via Instagram and people are asking me what my system is, how I store things, how I know what to get when an order comes in, how do I know where that order is. So I thought it might be easier if I just make a little video for you. Just remember that this is the way that I do something. I'm not trying to tell you that this is how you should do something. This is how I work it. It works for me. It works for my brain, my scatterbrain, and I really think that everybody kind of discovers what works for them and works a system into place. And it's good to take tips and ideas from other people. But just because this system works for me, it doesn't mean it's going to work for your workflow. All our brains function differently, and mine is a little bit of a scatterbrain. And I think you've just got to find a system that works for you. But this is how I do it. I hope it helps somebody. Maybe you'll be able to take little bits from what I do and put it together for you. But you know, I find it quite a simple process, and I'm going to video it, and yeah, let me know if you've got any questions. So I'm just going to start with showing you my storage room, and this light on the left hand side here is actually because the light in my garage is blown and my husband hasn't been able to work out how to actually change it. He thinks we need an electrician. So basically I've got this temporary light in here, so I'm sorry that that looks crummy, and I hope that you can still see. But this is my work area. So I'll just show you quickly through this first. It's nothing fancy. It's in my garage, and it just has to work for me. So I have and please take into account that there's stuff in my garage that is our personal stuff. So like the esky down here that you can see, it's just stored here because that's where it has to fit. So yeah. But basically I have my table here, which is where I pack all my orders on. I've got a little caddy there, and that basically just has all my little cards in it my thank you cards that I pop into each order. And it's also where I, after I take an order, for instance, each order has an individual number. So over in my box, that's just where I store them. So, and I have spare numbers in here for when I need more tubs. Okay, so I've got my garbage bin down here, and I have my post bucket here. So I keep a bucket there ready to throw all my orders in, ready to post. So yes, this is my main area. You can see my bubble wrap kind of sits there, my sticky tape. So everything's ready to go. The cardboard boxes that you can see there on the other table, they are full of books, and yeah, hold on, you can see they're just labelled. My books, I've got boxes of books, and I still have boxes of books over here that are waiting to list. Yay me. Not. Okay, so these are my tubs. Over here to the left, these little drawers, they are full of my satchels. So the top drawer's got the 500 gram satchels, the middle drawer's got 1 kilo, the third drawer's got 3 kilo, and the fourth drawer has pool noodles, which I use when I photograph my shoes and my boots. I stuff the shoe or the boot with a pool noodle if need be to help stand it up. And I've also just got some spare thank you cards and stuff in that drawer. So that's kind of just a bit of a random drawer. Okay, so all my tubs go along here, and they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 high. So they all come along the back wall here. Now we've got more black boxes that all go along this, which is where the garage door is. So they all sit in front of the garage door. These black boxes are all got my shoes in them, and they've got miscellaneous things in them as well. So the clear boxes I keep clothes, and the black boxes I keep shoes and miscellaneous. And then I've got another row of boxes happening here, and there's room for a couple more rows, and then I'm pretty much running out of room for clear tubs, but yeah, so let's go along. I do have some shelving over there. You can see where it says shelf 1, shelf 2, shelf 3, and that's where I keep bigger books or again some miscellaneous things. So this is basically my workroom. So yeah, that's so you can see it. So the first thing that I will do when I'm about to pick my orders is I go to eBay and I print out all the orders that are awaiting postage. So these are all the orders that have paid and they're all waiting. So this is my printout for today that I need to do. So I've just crossed out here on this paper just for privacy because it's the buyer's names. But basically this is just the awaiting orders, and as you can see down here, it has the SKU number in it. So that tells me exactly where that item is going to be. So to me, so I can see straight away that that skirt is in box TTT. It's number 936, and the 5 is how much that cost me. So that skirt cost me $5. The reason why I put the cost of the skirt in there is so when I'm on the phone and somebody makes me an offer, I'm able to really quickly, if I'm out and about, I can just look at the listing and see straight away how much I've paid for that item. So if I'm going to accept an offer, I know exactly what my rough profit margin is inside my head. But the TTT 936, that tells me exactly where that skirt is. So all that means is I need to go and find box TTT. So obviously they go kind of in alphabetical order, and I know that TTT, oh, there's my dog, is down here, and yay, there's no box on top. So fancy. So we're looking for number 936. So basically I just roughly, I know the skirt, I know it's a floral skirt, so there you go. Item number 936 is in that box TTT. Really easy. Put the lid back. With one hand. Okay. And then I'll just put this on the table with these other ones that I've already picked. Okay, so this one here. DD736 250. So basically that means it's in box DD, it's item number 736, and it cost me $2.50. So DD is down here. So what that means is, yes, I have to pull all the other boxes off quickly, just line them up here and pull out DDD. Yes, it's a bit of a pain, but really it does not take very long. It takes literally 10 seconds. So if my kids are at home, my third child is very good if I give him the picking list, and which is exactly this printout here. I can just send it with my kids. They come in here and they literally pick the items for me. So yeah, bonus if you've got a system where you can teach others, and that was important for me. This needed to be easy in case I need help, and one of my family members needs to come in and help me out a little bit. This needed to be a simple process. So anyway, the next item's in DD, so I have to pull all those boxes off and then pull it down. So there you go, I've pulled all the boxes off. They now just sit there. I come into DDD. I know I'm looking for the little denim Portman's skirt. 736, there it is. So yeah, now just so you know, there's nothing, it's like not each box is just full of shirts or jeans or anything like that. Each box is just, as I'm listing, things go into a box. So whatever I'm listing at the time just goes into a tub. I'll explain all that at another time. Okay, so on the table, I've just gone and picked some of those items. So they're all waiting there now to pack. And thankfully today, most of them are just going into some nice, easy 500-gram satchels. There's a lot of clothes there today, a couple of books and a pair of shoes. So the other thing that I like to do in one big hit, and I'm going to turn this around on the ironing board here. This is where I've printed out my labels already. So these are my, I've just covered the tops of them for privacy reasons. I don't want the labels to actually be seen. But basically I print out the label, and on the bottom of each label, I just write the name of the item that I've sold. So they're Portman's denim skirt, Maggie T skirt, sports craft skirt, Stussy shorts, Kathmandu grey shorts. I might write the number if there's a couple of Kathmandus there, so I've just put their numbers. Veronica Main, sports craft. So it takes me, it's so quick then. The items are picked, I've got labels ready to go, and I just simply come over, get my satchel from the thing, pack them up, throw them in the box. Really quick, really easy. If there's an item that I'm a bit unsure of the weight when I'm just looking at the orders and printing out the labels, then I just don't print that label out straight away. I just wait. I pack up all the ones that I simply know these are all going to go into a 500-gram satchel, and or if I know it's going into a 3-kilo satchel, whatever, I'll print the label out, stick them on there on the ironing board. They're all ready to go. However, like I said, if I'm unsure of the weight, or if I'm unsure if it's going to go into a 1 kilo or a 3-kilo satchel, I just don't leave that, and then I just go in and go back to the computer and print out the label, or do the 1 kilo satchel for whatever's needed. So yeah, these are the ones that are ready to go now. So yeah, it's super easy. Basically, I've got the bags here, and everything is stored in my tubs in the plastic bags. It's easier for me. It means that I'm not putting any dirty hands while I'm rummaging around in any boxes at all, or my kids if they come and help me out. It keeps the labels clean. These are just printouts that I've done off my computer. But basically now I just open up the bag, I put the number, goes into here, and then I pick out a thank you card. I've got a couple of different thank you cards, and I basically choose whichever one I feel like for the type of order it is. My thank you cards have got a bit of a different feel to them, and I just use whichever one I kind of feel like using at the time, and it stops me from getting bored as well. But yeah, and then basically these little numbers, they just go into a pile up, and I just reuse those numbers. So then I just, as I'm packing up new orders, I just grab the numbers from here, and it just goes into a new bag for a new order. So yeah, I don't have to, when I run out of numbers, then it means I need to print out another 100, and I just do them at 100 at a time and print them out as I go. If I run out, I print out another 100 numbers. I've got the sheet already made up on my computer. All I have to do is change the last numbers from like 200s to 300s, or 1000 to 1100, or whatever it is. But yeah, so I'm just going to pack these up now, and I'll be back. Now, when I'm doing books, they are always bubble wrapped, and I'll just show you. I basically bubble wrap it like this. I flick one side over, and then I tape it like that, and then this side gets taped over this side, and I just find that protects both the sides. I tape a bit to the side so it looks like a really neat little package, and yeah, and then that will go into a satchel. This is a hardcover book, so I know that with some bubble wrap that's going to be fine as it is with the satchel. If it's a thinner book like this, for instance, then what I'm going to do is not only will I bubble wrap that, but I have a box down in here, and it's just got some like cardboard scraps and stuff, which I just get from the local recycling. I just find some old boxes, rip them up, and it just means that I've got something to stuff the satchels with, just to protect them more, and you know, make sure those books don't bend. So yeah, here's my book. It's all packaged up. If I'm unsure of the weight of the book, I just pop it on the scale, and then I go, okay, yep, I know that has to go into a 3 kilo satchel. So yeah. Yeah, so just as an example, this is a thin book, and it's not a hardcover or anything. So what I'm going to do is I've got like a couple bits of base cardboard, and basically just it's hard one-handed. But basically, yeah, I'm just going to pad that book up with some cardboard between. That's going to go into a 1 kilo satchel, just because it's a little bit wide for a 500 gram, even though the weight of it is only 500 grams. And with the satchels, just with the little pink label, just so you know what I do is I just simply get one of my thank you cards, and on the back of it, basically I stick that little pink shipping number, the tracking number, and I'll just write on it book and the name of the book, or else I'll write the name of the buyer. Very simple, it's just there. And then I add that over here. I have a box which just sits on top of my filing cabinet. Inside that filing cabinet, inside that box is where I keep all my receipts. So everything that I purchase for the month goes into that box, and also for the month goes in those tracking numbers. And then at the end of the month, I just put all the tracking numbers into a little snap lock bag, and they just get stored away with my receipts for that month. And it's just, if I have any problems, I know where I can find that tracking number. Even though I do enter it into the system, it's just there as my added backup. And you can use what I used to use, a book, a big book to stick all the pink labels in, but now that I'm doing my paperwork monthly, I just find having them all on a little card here is pretty easy. So yeah. So I hope that gives you a bit of an idea about how I pick and pack my orders. It's actually just a really simple method. There's nothing fancy to it, but everything is easy for me to find. I haven't had anything go missing. I am very diligent in making sure I check that I've put the SKU in when I'm listing an order. I make sure that the SKU and the box number, and like I do double check that as I list, just to make sure that I've got that correct. And yeah, it's easy. It's really easy, simple system that works for me, and it's definitely teachable if you need to teach somebody else how to pick your orders. Like I said, even my kids can come in here and get everything out ready for me to ship, which helps me out, especially if there's quite a few orders. You know, just having that extra hand that they can be picking orders while I'm packaging or bubble wrapping some items. But yeah, everything's pretty simple, and yeah, the system works for me, and hopefully you might have learned some tips that you can use for your own system. Thanks for watching. Thank you, thank you, thank you.